Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's take a look here, of course, at Solana, see what's going on. Looking quite strong. We got a nice little bullish backtest here of that descending trend line, basically a bull flag pattern. We see here we can kind of understand that, hey, it chose the better option of the two. It didn't reject in this descending trend, broke through, retest, and now it's looking like it wants to take off. You got to keep in mind though, Bitcoin is struggling at the 68K range. If it pulls back, we could see the same thing from Solana, but it is looking tentatively stronger than most other coins right now. It's one of the few coins, in my opinion, that is actually in the green and doing well. Seems like it might want to continue. So we're going to double check to see if it's worthwhile taking a long or a short at this point, or to close a short if you have one open. We technically have a short open. I think we're averaging like 152, 153 for our entry. So may have to close that, honestly. If that's the case, then hey, that's how it goes. But the truth is, weekends are always kind of weird and deceiving. So like this little pump, like what the hell was that? That shouldn't have happened, but it did, right? Again, Bitcoin's pulling back and Solana is trying. So kudos to Solana. So let's take a look at the backend data, see if there's anything kind of telling of where we're at with liquidation, etc. Kind of go from there. And if you could just hit the like button before you get a chance, absolutely appreciate that. Thanks again to everyone who does that on every single video. I've got some religious followers and I really appreciate you. Thank you, and happy to be part of your life too. I'm glad you find benefit. Let's take a look here though, of course, 161 to 158, kind of that range there. It's not like a massive amount. I mean, that's actually quite a lot when you think about it. Each one of these bars is like $250 million. So that's quite substantial. If I were to count that up, it's probably a little easier to count it up here. We can see 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's somewhere in the range of $7 billion between now and 162. So do I think 162 is going to get hit because that one reason alone? Short answer is no. But in general, that's how it's supposed to work. In other words, these liquidation levels are there because too many people are taking longs or shorts, and they usually get swept here. And the reason why I like to look at this here, this is the delta for liquidation, kind of just telling us how many trades are open in either direction. So there's more shorts than longs at this point, which does imply the price could continue to run up, because that's just kind of the law of averages, folks. When you got too many of one thing and not enough of the other, it tends to average itself out. So you'll see these ebbs and flows consistently, especially as the price goes. So as you can see the price going up, we can see less and less shorts. The shorts are starting to dissipate. As the price goes down, longs are starting to come down, right? There's an eventuality when you hit this peak, and then that's the point in which the price action will tend to reverse itself. And we saw that here as well when the price came down. It was like low as 148, 149. Either way, that's good to know. Just kind of helps us understand where we're at. We can also see 154. That's the level there of the most amount of open interest. So 154, we can see the late longs are essentially in profit here at this level. Okay, 154. We have the most amount of interest in the last 7 trading days at 154. So that implies that's a support level. That's really what that tells us at this point. So daily time frame, let's go ahead and recognize this here. A few important factors to note. We're above all moving averages on the daily. We've been like that for a little while. The price did break down below the 200 at one point, but it quickly closed above. We can see we're over 50 on the RSI. Stochastic trying to swing up for a second time. Money flow index is rather high. Keep in mind, money flow index on a weekend will show false positives because it removes 2 weeks ago the previous Friday from 2 weeks ago, all right? And if we kind of look here, the Friday from 2 weeks ago was this guy here, so it generally will average out a little weird. In other words, letting us know we have good money flowing in, but a lot of times you can kind of see like spikes on Saturdays just because of that. Anyways, it's nothing to read into. It's generally positive when it's above the RSI on the daily time frame, because this is a 24-hour candle, and there's a lot of volume that could be factored in there. So that's overall a positive sign. So we have this bull flag breakout with a decent amount of money flowing in on the daily, and that's a very good thing. We can see here as well that we are above every moving average on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so those are very good signs too. We're also respecting the 20-day SMA more specifically. That's when the price broke free from it, continued to retest it, and continue to bounce off. So that's also favorable. And if we do take a look at the RSI on the 4-hour, this looks good here. Money flow index is high. Again, weekend being kind of weird. Still a good sign with it being above the RSI. Stochastic swinging up. MACD is converging. There's a lot of reasons here as to why you shouldn't try to short this coin. And now that we've broken free from our local high, we've officially closed above it. It's generally a good sign. We should experience the price to continue higher. Only caveat here is if Bitcoin were to pull back, which I still feel it's going to, that would change things a little bit. It may shift gears where it gets back in line with Bitcoin, but at this point in the last 24 hours, we have seen Solana basically breaking free from Bitcoin's price action and doing pretty well. And it's not exact, right? It's pulling back with Bitcoin, but we had this little last-ditch effort here to break through that local high, creating a fair value gap. We could see a correction down to 155. If so, perhaps a consideration for opening a trade. But honestly, folks, this is a weekend. It's not very trustworthy. I don't trust pumps on the weekend or Fridays in general. And we had one yesterday, so it kind of led me to not want to do much trading. So either way you look at it here, Ichimoku Cloud, free and clear, the price action, conversion lines right there at the baseline, not telling us we have great momentum, but we do have some. But being above the cloud and the lagging span being free and clear, there's a lot more reasons why this coin will go up versus going down. Okay, so again, we've got a lot of resistance above us, so you just got to recognize that. 160, I'm rounding up a little bit, 159.75. That's a key level here we got to be able to break above to be able to have any luck. We have our local high here too, basically our candlestick closure for the hourly at about 158. So 158 to 160 will be that resistance zone. Also note too, again, with this heavy amount of liquidation here, just because it's there doesn't mean it has to be hit. You got to recognize that is definitely not always the case. So the simple way to understand it here is that there's a lot more reasons why the price will go up than down. I just want you to recognize too that getting super greedy and putting a take profit target like the 170, 180 range, it seems very egregious right now. Only saying that because if Bitcoin does pull back, I think Solana will too. And Bitcoin does look like it's kind of on the edge of retracement here. It does look like it wants to break down. Again, that's just me personally thinking out loud. But again, I've been wrong in the past. Okay, cool. So hopefully that makes sense. I described that correctly. But you're going to find more success going up than down at this point with Solana. It's looking fairly strong at this point. So that is kind of where we're at. All in all, pretty decent stuff overall. Okay, so congrats to those who are in a long. I would consider holding on to your long position. We got a good little point of control here, support at 155. So unless Bitcoin really drops hard, I think Solana will probably continue to run towards 158 to 160. It seems likely. Now, is it going to break 160? That remains to be seen. 160 has been a very strong resistance level for Solana, so we could see that happen, but I think it's less likely, especially on a weekend. Wouldn't make a ton of sense. Okay, thanks again, folks. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks again for your time. Don't forget to like the video, comment below if you get a chance, and join us over at Bitunix too, folks. I always forget to mention this, but they have an awesome deposit reward bonus right now for this month. Check them out. They've been really good at helping our community. We've got hundreds of members using this exchange, and I can tell you they're fantastic to us. So thanks again, Bitunix, and thank you too for being an awesome parts of my life. We'll see you soon. Take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.